Welcome to Embody Your Brilliance, a podcast for visionary daughters of immigrants and creative entrepreneurs. I'm your host, Eunice Kimian, somatic life and business coach, mom, and Korean American eldest daughter of immigrants. Each week, you'll hear stories, insights, and conversations to help you embody your unique brilliance beyond survival mode, so that you can design a life you actually want and grow a peaceful, profitable business you're proud of that supports you. Hi everyone, welcome back to Embody Your Brilliance. I'm your host, Eunice Kimian, and today I want to talk about stability. Stability, security, safety when it comes to your job and also entrepreneurship. So I don't know about you, but in my family, I grew up hearing money messages like, you just have to work really hard, get into a really good college, and then get a really high-paying, lucrative, safe, secure job, and then you'll be set. How many of you also heard that growing up? Maybe daughters of immigrants, eldest daughters might really relate to this, but that's the message that I heard all my life. And even though my dad is an entrepreneur, my great-grandmother was an entrepreneur, entrepreneurship runs through my genes. Also, being a performing artist runs through my genes. My mom was an opera singer. There's a lot of creativity in our genes. But there was also this very academic side to my lineage. And I grew up where I've never seen in my entire life my dad work for anyone. My mom was at home. So growing up, I saw neither of my parents ever work for anyone, like at a company or a manager. So there's that piece. And then also just my personality. I think I was just born to be an entrepreneur. And so with both nature and nurture, it was pretty clear by the time I went to college that I was meant to be an entrepreneur and I wanted to be an entrepreneur. But my parents really discouraged it. I discouraged myself of like, okay, why am I choosing this? Like, why did I work so hard to get into the college that I wanted to go to and then choose a career that my college degree has no impact on, really? And also like choose a very unstable path. Why don't I just want to be a freaking doctor or a lawyer or something, And yet I just couldn't deny, like, from that point in college, I just knew I was meant to be an entrepreneur. But the reason why I was resisting it was because I think my body really struggled to feel safe in entrepreneurship. My body struggled to feel safe outside of familiar structures like institutions, corporations, like things that were ingrained in me for my entire life as what equals safety and security and success. Because somewhere deep inside, I had learned all my life that safety came from a secure paycheck, not from myself. And I had learned that safety came from working myself to the bone. And I also learned that from observing my dad and also just other people around me who were entrepreneurs. Like, it was really hard. Like, I saw them working so hard, and it's also very unstable. So I just equated entrepreneurship as unstable. And my mom, my amma, would always say, Eunice, why don't you just work for the government? Or why don't you work for a big company like Google? I was like, oh, it's not like that anymore, Amma. And it's just different. And clearly in 2025, we're seeing how even those quote unquote stable paths in the government and big companies aren't actually stable. Like, so many layoffs going on, so much instability. And it's clear that we are living in a different world than what our parents grew up with. And especially looking at immigrant parents, even just looking at the fact that I had access to resources, I mean, because of their sacrifice in the United States, things like got access to education and whatever, we are living in a different world. But also 2025 looks very different where all these institutions are falling apart, right? And systems. And so everything is just unstable. The job market is unstable. So to me, I'm like, okay, so entrepreneurship, the thing that everyone painted as so unstable, is actually not that unstable in comparison to certain jobs now, right? A W-2 job was supposed to be the pinnacle of safety and security. Now we're being proven, we're seeing with our own eyes evidence of that not being true. People sometimes say freelancing is actually safer and more secure than a full-time W-2 job now because you're able to diversify your eggs in different baskets, right? And so for me, it's like, if my disposition and my unfair advantage, my natural strength is in entrepreneurship, and the only reason I was pulling back, pulling away from it was because it's unstable, now I really have no excuse. And looking back, to me, I just really want to validate the past version of myself for feeling unsafe in those early years of entrepreneurship because my nervous system had been so conditioned to outsource safety to systems, institutions, like really outsourcing safety to external groups beyond my body, beyond me and my brain. It's something my parents believed that I had to do in order to survive and thrive when we immigrated to this country. And what I've learned to be true is one of the most powerful things you can do as an entrepreneur is learn to bet on yourself and have your own back no matter what. No matter what. Even if that means working part-time or having a corporate job for a season, there's no shame in that. I've done it many times. To me, a corporate job or part-time work is capital, things that will help sustain me and my life and my business because I'm not quitting on my business. I just needed capital to re-up on my little resources, right? And there's no shame in that. And no matter your external circumstances, if you can really have your own back and not shame yourself, and actually stand by your decisions, learn from your mistakes, fall, get back up, believe in yourself over and over again, your success becomes inevitable. And what I want to share here about that internal safety is that what's familiar to us doesn't always mean it's the safest thing. Our nervous system can kind of confuse those things. And that's why if you grew up in a certain environment or even in like a dysfunctional relationship, you might crave that, or you might find yourself in a similar relationship even though you don't really want that and it doesn't feel safe. But for whatever reason, your nervous system feels at home there because it's familiar. So what's familiar does not always mean it's safe. And so for me, it's like, even though it's familiar to basically outsource my safety to a W-2 job to just have my back, I have to remind myself that that's not necessarily safety. That's not real safety to me, especially in 2025. And for daughters of immigrants, like we have to build that muscle of how do we trust our internal safety? How do we cultivate inner safety in our body? First of all, what does that even mean? Like, how do you track that? How do you cultivate it? How do you amplify it? And then also, how do you navigate this period of transition, period of disillusion, period of systems falling apart? How do you navigate this instability collectively and learn to have your back no matter what, whether that means going full-time in your business or doing your business while also doing something part-time, or running your business while also balancing your full-time job, whatever it looks like as an entrepreneur, how can you learn to trust your internal safety? And also, how can you be strategic about how you navigate external systems so that you feel well-resourced to be able to keep going, to be able to bring your vision to life? And the thing about your parents too is that if you keep making decisions only from their version of safety or their view of what is secure and stable, it will really limit you in terms of your definition of security, stability, and peace. It's limited to their definition if you don't ever break away from that. So it doesn't mean that you know, don't validate them, right? But it's like you can honor their lived experience and their perspective, but also you can honor yours. And this is the work that I do in one-on-one somatic business coaching. I help daughters of immigrants, eldest daughters, cultivate their inner sense of safety, security, and stability so that you can bet on yourself confidently, build the business you are meant to build from beyond survival mode so that you don't rely on external circumstances to feel rooted in your self-trust, because if you don't have your own back and you're constantly doubting and fighting yourself, it'll feel like pushing a boulder up a hill. I combine business strategy with nervous system support so you can bring your vision to life boldly and peacefully without overworking, overthinking, or burning out. So if you're ready to grow a thriving, peaceful, and profitable business that actually feels good in your body and actually do it from a place of internal safety, stability, and security, even when this world and this job market and all of this stuff, the layoffs are all happening and it feels overwhelming, I would love to be able to support you. Book your free one-on-one clarity call session today. This call alone really has helped people unlock clarity and breakthroughs, just feel lighter and just more in connection with their vision and to be able to move forward with more confidence. So if you're ready to feel more rooted in your self-trust and create real stability in your business internally and externally, I invite you to book a call with me. If this episode resonated with you, please share it with a friend and leave a review on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Join my email list for my newsletters and connect with me on Instagram. And I'll see you in the next one.